welcome to Life with Randy and Grace. Are we living in full expression, sweetheart?
Well, we're living. That's a good thing.
Oh, wow. Oh, so today we're talking about movies. You have a lot of favorite movies you want to talk about?
It's hard. There's so many really good movies, and we can only mention some that people. Oh, and we concentrated on the older movies, but movies people still talk about or quote some lines from or kind of classics. And maybe it'll bring up some memories for you, or if you haven't seen them, maybe it'll give you something that you to go watch, because they're all, by popular opinion, very, very good movies. They're all off the American Film Institute top 100 list. So,
well, your movies, not all mine are, but
well, you're probably in the top 100.
I don't know. We'll see.
So we got a lot of genres to talk about. Where do you want to start? You want to start comedy?
Sure.
Okay. If you've ever owned an RV, we owned an RV. One of my favorite movies is the long, long trailer about Lucy and Desi buying an RV and going up in the mountains. I think it's hilarious. Don't you?
Yes, I do. And that really was the precursor to the I Love Lucy show.
It was?
Yes, that was.
Wow.
Because that was really their first time doing that as a married couple, in all of their crazy stuff. So, well, but that is a very, very funny movie. Yeah. And if you've had any experience at all with RVs, you will get the greatest kick out of it.
Right, exactly. So that's a good one. I know one. I think you like this one. Did you like Some Like It Hot? We actually stayed in that hotel out in San Diego where they filmed it one time.
That was a great movie. That with Jack Lemmon and
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe. But there was the other lead. I can't think of his name. Who was he married into the Kennedy family, I think. No, wasn't him.
Oh,
anyway.
It wasn't Joy Bishop.
No.
It was I know who you mean. I can't think of his
anyway,
name.
that's a very good movie.
That's the one where they act like women to try to evade the cops, right?
No, to try and avoid the mob. The mob was out to kill them.
Oh, the mob. Okay.
So they infiltrate this women's band, dress up like women. That would be a great one for this day and age. And so they're evading them. And then, of course, one of them falls in love with Marilyn Monroe. And the other one, some guy falls in love with him.
Tony Curtis.
Very good. Tony Curtis. And then that other character falls in love with Jack Lemmon. And he's trying to tell him that he's not interested. And finally, he just whips off his wig and says, "I'm not a woman." And the guy says, "I don't care."
I think that was funny. One of my favorites, because I did a lot of traveling in my former career or jobs. And if you ever have, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with Steve Martin, and was that John Candy?
I think so.
Anyway, that is one hilarious movie. Oh God, the one scene I'll never forget was they get stuck, and they're it's a long story, but you can figure it out. And they have to stay. They finally get the last hotel room. Only has one double bed, so they're sleeping in the bed. So Steve Martin gets up in the morning. He can't find his glasses. He's all blurry-eyed. And he goes in and washes his face, and he picks up the towel to dry his face, and he's drying his face, and he gives this sniff look, and it's John Candy's underwear hanging on the towel rack.
It's hysterical, but also, I think something wonderful about movies is they can actually bring us back to remembering good stories about how we should live life.
That's how we should live.
No, well, in that particular movie, he was always, he hated this guy, even though he had to travel with him. And he never looked beyond the immediate thing in front of him. He didn't have any compassion. He didn't have any care about this guy. So Steve Martin was just looking at him, and until he kind of got to know him and looked past his foibles and frailties. And then there's this theme of forgiveness. He forgives him. He welcomes him in. He invites him to Christmas dinner because he didn't have a family of his own. So it's a hysterical movie. All of the things that we all go through in life, but behind it, I just feel that there was this whole message of you have to look beyond somebody's front appearance. You have to go deeper and be able to forgive people.
Wow. I just watched the movie and laughed. So I think a movie that you liked, but it's also a TV show you liked, was MASH. You were more crazy about that than I was.
I actually hated the movie.
Really? Why?
Because I felt that it was very irreverent, and I walked out of that movie. Actually.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
But when they made it into a TV series, then it had a much more human quality, and also it was really, again, it was giving us things that we should think about how we should treat people, how should we, the things that we do, we should be sincere in our motives. He has a whole episode on giving up booze, even though he's a big drinker. So I didn't like the movie because I felt it was irreverent, but the actual show came more, they were like parables. Every episode was like a parable.
Mm-hmm. So the other couple of really silly ones that were kind of funny were Ghostbusters and Airplane, and those were very popular, and they were okay. They're fun to watch, and then you go on your business and you don't really think about them too much. I like Mrs. Doubtfire. Did you like Mrs. Doubtfire?
I did like Mrs. Doubtfire, and again, I think that had very good messages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it did.
So I like them to be funny, but I like them to be meaningful.
I know you do. That's why we watch so many old movies, because they were more meaningful than a lot of the movies today.
Oh, for sure. For sure. They had, my favorite director, hands down, was Frank Capra. And he always had a good, wholesome, loving, faithful message.
Well, that takes us right into the category of drama. And your favorite Christmas movie is?
It's a Wonderful Life.
There you go.
And that, absolutely. A lot of Christmas movies have really good messages, but that is so key, that we don't understand that whatever is in front of us is not the whole picture. And he didn't realize how wonderful his life was until he lost it, or almost lost it.
Yep.
Appeared to lose it.
But the old movies did have such good themes, like Citizen Kane, a really good movie.
Really good movie.
Orson Welles, right?
Orson Welles.
12 Angry Men with Henry Fonda, about the jury.
A very, very excellent movie. And again, how we need to not just look at immediately the first thing, one of my favorite scriptures is a love scripture, and love is patient, love is kind. But my favorite part of that is love does not keep record of wrongs, and it endures. So that was a great movie, because the people who were on the jury, a lot of them were keeping so many records of things that were done wrong to them that they wanted to blame this poor person who was not a killer and have him go down. So, Henry Fonda does a great job of saying, you don't know what you don't know. That was a great movie. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch 12 Angry Men.
Another great one, probably everybody's seen it, Casablanca. I like that movie. Really good movie. Humphrey Bogart.
Enduring Love, yes.
In a lot of movies.
Yes.
Another terrific movie, Schindler's List. That was a great movie. It's a long movie. What a great movie. So what he did for in World War II to save a lot of the Jewish people that in concentration camps. That's a great movie.
There is no greater love than a man who will put down his life for his friend. I mean, that's the whole thing there. I mean, Schindler, poor Schindler. I mean, he berated himself that he didn't save more Jews, and he saved many, thousands of them. He saved through his program. So yeah, that was a great movie.
So then another movie which I enjoyed watching. Not sure, maybe you can help me with the overall theme, moral of this movie, is Forrest Gump. You had all these different scenes, very good movie, but I enjoyed the movie. You can tell me what it's all about.
Well, I don't know. From a Christian perspective, unless you come like a child, right, you will not receive the glories. So he was so innocent. He was so pure. He only did things that were good and made sense. He had a very simple way of looking at things, and I think that the reminder to us is we have to do that more. We have to be more simple, and not put all of the craziness of the world on top of our hearts and minds. Simple.
A couple others. There's so many, like I said, but Rain Man was a really good movie, and Midnight Cowboy was an interesting movie.
I have to say I don't remember a lot. I know I saw it at least once, but I couldn't tell you the plot of Midnight Cowboy. Can you?
No, but I enjoyed the movie. But I can tell you the plot of Rain Man, where he had his autistic friend, and they went to Vegas.
His brother.
That was his brother.
That was his brother.
And that was a good movie. A movie, I love Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson movies, he had so many. But in the drama category, As Good as It Gets with Helen Hunt was a great movie. Some very, very, very funny lines. Kind of sad in a way, but a good movie. And then One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That was really a good movie.
Yeah.
Did you like that one?
Again, I don't remember it all that well, so it's not a favorite. But Jack Nicholson is a good actor. He's a
great actor. And another movie that was ahead of its time, but really started a whole wave of reality TV was The Truman Show with Jim Carrey. You remember that? Where he lived his life in a bubble, in that artificial bubble.
Yes, yes.
And that really started a whole wave of reality TV. So that was a very kind of a transformational movie. And then you got Paul Newman with Cool Hand Luke and Hood, and he had some good movies too. He wasn't Hood, right?
I don't know. I think so.
I think he was a pool player, but Cool Hand Luke was when he was in prison. That was a good movie. And speaking of prison, the Shawshank Redemption is pretty good too.
That is an excellent movie, and I think that also teaches real life lessons.
And Tom Hanks in The Green Mile is another prison movie.
How to work through your circumstances, right? You can't focus on what's right in front of you. You have to have a broader view and go beyond that, which he certainly did in Shawshank Redemption. And he taught his fellow prisoner the same thing. And you have to always have hope. Remember, who was what is that wonderful actor?
You're gonna have to give me another
hint. The black man.
He played in what?
Shawshank Redemption.
Oh. I can see his face. I can't remember his name.
Freeman.
Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Freeman. He was resolved. He was in prison. He was never getting out. But the other guy who played the other guy, the lead, he's telling him you always have to have hope. And he was refusing to have any hope. He absolutely refused to have any hope, but he did have hope, and they end up on a Caribbean island somewhere together.
All right, let's move on to crime. We like mob movies. The Godfather, obviously, 1, 2, and 3. The first one I think was the best. Was very good, and Goodfellas was very good, and Casino and Heat were also good mob movies, but I think The Godfather and Goodfellas are probably the best.
And the best examples of the way not to live your life.
Well, yeah, but
absolutely. But yes, no, we enjoy those. We do. It's just so amazing to me to get into or have any understanding of the mind of the criminal, especially mobsters, what are they thinking? That they actually can rule the world, that there is nothing but them and they will control everything. And it's very interesting and terrible.
Well, true. The French Connection was good with Gene Hackman. That was a good movie. I'll never forget those chase scenes in Queens underneath the railroads. That was a good movie.
I lived in Queens during that time, so I remember recognizing all of those areas that they were speeding through.
Now we come to maybe my favorite movie of all time by the Coen brothers. I love the Coen brothers.
Oh,
It's Fargo.
Oh my!
And I loved Fargo because it shows how you can have some bad ideas, really bad, even evil, greed, and start down the wrong path, not wanting to go too far, and you get sucked into your own head, and it just keeps getting worse. Talk about a lesson in life. It keeps getting worse and worse, and can turn into a disaster.
That is their movies. All of their movies do a good job of pointing out the human condition and how just, so if you have kids, right, you want to try and keep them on the straight and narrow, and you try so hard to tell them, don't make this mistake, this one time that you go away from doing the right thing can absolutely snowball into terrible, horrible things. And their movies show that.
Yep. The other movie, The Simple Plan, where they find the money in the airplane, it wrecks their lives,
right.
The whole thing.
Right.
A couple of movies, I like Bonnie and Clyde, was a good movie with Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty. And we watched a movie the other night called Gun Crazy, which was kind of a precursor back in the 50s to Bonnie and Clyde, where this couple get together and that ends in a disaster. But that's a very entertaining movie, too, that we watched the other night.
Right. Well, a lot of things, it's very interesting because we've been watching a lot of old movies lately. But the femme fatale, I mean, boy, did they just were pigeonholing women as the downfall to men in so many situations that a woman could just twist them around their little pinky and make them do things that they shouldn't do. And that was definitely last night's movie when we watched that, Gun Crazy.
And the other old one, the old film noir, one of the first ones to set the tone was The Killers. And that's a really, really good movie. I think Ava Gardner was in that one.
Yeah.
And Broderick Crawford. That was a really good movie. Humphrey Bogart made some good ones. The Maltese Falcon and The Big Sleep he made. So he was in a lot of those type movies. They're black and white.
Right. The thing about the film noir genre, it's just very interesting. Again, I find it very interesting the way they portrayed women. And, so a lot of people will say, as I just said, they're always the femme fatale. It's either the femme fatale or the nutsy, just sexy blonde. But they also, people will say they didn't let women progress. They didn't show women as progressive. And that's not necessarily true. There are so many movies back then where women were lawyers, women were detectives, women were judges, women were newspaper reporters. So it's, they had a few different pigeonholing things that they would do, but it is not true that they never showed them as smart and being able to handle things, because they did.
So then we go to the Westerns, and you and I don't watch a lot of Westerns, but Shane, great Western, Alan Ladd, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, The Magnificent Seven. They don't do a lot of Westerns like they used to.
Well, no.
They used to do a lot of Westerns.
Well, we're getting back more into a little bit more of a Western genre now, television-wise. We're seeing more of that. But I really can't speak to those because as a younger person, I didn't really enjoy Westerns.
Did you watch Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
No, I don't think so.
Oh. How about The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
No.
Even today, we don't really watch many Westerns. Because like I say, you said they may be getting back in there, but I can't remember the last recent Western I watched.
Well, not a recent Western movie, but
right. A movie. We're in the category of movies.
Oh, okay, but Western is very popular right now, just as a theme. I mean, look at fashion. There's all cowboy boots and cowboy hats,
you're talking
and
about
that's because Yellowstone has brought Western things to the forefront. So I'm actually surprised there isn't a Yellowstone movie.
Well, we watched Yellowstone. We went out and bought our cowboy vest and our cowboy hat, and Because if they had one more season, I would have bought a horse.
But I have always loved Western wear. I can remember early on just loving boots and corduroy skirts and big belts. I didn't buy hats then. They weren't popular, but I got a lot now.
All right. This one is your category because I don't like it and you love it. It's sci-fi. So what were your favorite sci-fi? What are some movies, some classics?
Well, I think that Star Wars is definitely a classic, and I give that a lot of credit also for having good moral messages that came through with
Are
that.
you talking about Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars, the movie.
But you love Star Trek too.
But that was a TV show.
Oh,
And that
true.
was different.
That wasn't a movie, was it?
No, it was not.
Yeah.
No, but I think Star Wars as a movie. That was
How
fun.
about 2001: A Space Odyssey? Did you like that? Really, when the computers were becoming like they are today? What a precursor that
What
was.
a precursor when Hal wants to take over.
Right.
I think that was a very prophetic movie.
Yes, it was.
Very
It
definitely.
was.
But I don't remember a lot of sci-fi movies.
And we don't like the really gory monster like Alien. Great movie, but my son loved it. But that's really gory. It's too scary. I wasn't really into that one.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of sci-fi movies either, or gory
But,
horror.
I don't
movies.
like sci-fi, but one of my favorite sci-fi movies, which was really fabulous, was Jurassic Park. Remember when that came out? The
Yeah.
cinematography and the dinosaurs looked so real.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Yes.
That was a good one.
Well, and the graphics now for those kinds of things, for sci-fi movies and horror movies, the graphics are unbelievable. What they can do,
Avatar
and how they
now.
they can create the avatars. Scary stuff. These avatars.
How about Planet of the Apes? Did you watch that?
I did watch that. That was a good movie. And there again, a lot of interesting moral themes came out of that movie. That was a good movie.
Did you like Schwarzenegger in The Terminator? That was a little too wild for me. How he kept coming back.
I don't think
couldn't handle it.
I don't think I watched them.
Yeah, that was a little wild. A lot of people like that movie.
Yes.
But that was a little wild. All right, and then over to another genre. I used to love the TV shows, but we don't watch too many of them as horror movies.
Right.
I can't remember one we watched. Scream was big. Oh, Jaws. I did like Jaws.
Oh, okay. Well, is that drama or
I
is that horror? Yeah, I wouldn't call it a horror
Horrified
movie.
me. I would. When he opened his mouth, I jumped out of the chair. I thought it was a horror movie. Silence of the Lambs was pretty good with Anthony Hopkins.
Yes, that was very good.
Would you call that drama or horror?
Well, I don't know. Maybe there needs to be another category because
Like what? Movies that scare you?
scare the heck out of you,
Movies
but
that
they're
are
not
creepy?
horror movies. I mean that again, that's almost like Goodfellas. There's an evilness in the mind that we need to be aware of. But the horror movies, like the stupid people who come back to life, or
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I call that sci-fi.
Well, okay. So what would you call Psycho?
Horror movie.
Okay. So I mean that was a very good movie.
And the
That
Birds,
whole
Hitchcock.
Hitchcock, all of his themes.
They were very, very good.
They were good.
And I remember the movie that was, I don't know if scared is the right word, but I dreamed about it and it affected me, was The Exorcist. That movie was so well done.
Yes.
I'll never forget that. Her head turns around.
I remember, I think I was either 19 or 20 years old when I saw that movie, and I could not sleep that night.
That's what I mean. That was a scary movie.
I could not. But, a lot of that is based in my deep belief that there is a God and there is a devil. There is a demon and he is out there and he is working on us. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
So just speaking of that, I think there's a whole category of movies that I really love, which are, Christian themes. I loved God's Not Dead. Excellent, excellent movie. I love The War Room. If you haven't seen The War Room, you have to rent it or buy it or get to it, because it really talks about the real power of real belief and real prayer. It's an excellent movie. What is the one about the firefighters? Oh, Fireproof.
That's very good.
Excellent movie. And that one really talks about relationships and how you can change your relationship if you work on yourself. We talk about that all the time with young people who sometimes, rarely say, how is it that our life is so good? And we seem to have a good relationship together. And the best way to find a good partner is to work on yourself to be one.
I thought you were going to say, so watch a good movie together.
Well, watch Fireproof together. And that actually, Fireproof is based on a book. And if you're interested, you should get it. It's called The Love Dare. And it's 40 days basically of focusing on yourself to improve your situation. It's one Fireproof. Great movie.
So, well, I hope that talking about some of these movies has brought back some memories and maybe, some little favorite lines you thought about and had some fun playing around with thinking about them again. And if you haven't seen some of them, they're all very, very entertaining. And I hope you go watch them. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yes, I do too. Really. And you can find the moral of the story. These days it's hard in the silly movies that are being put out today, but there are a lot of good movies that can really help you introspect and see other people in better ways as well. So hope you'll join us again next time. Thank you for joining us today.
Bye-bye.